Hello, everybody. Josh Rubenstein for some more KP Candid Conversations. Today, we're talking Pride Month, and we're also talking about motherhood, too, because I've got two moms here joining me who are some of KP's finest as well, who will tell us a little bit about their journey in the LGBTQ community, and, of course, their journey being moms and about to be moms again, just weeks away from delivering twins there. Lourdes is with us. And, of course, Kathleen Nogoy-Villa. Both of them work at KP Woodland Hills, our Kaiser Permanente Woodland Hills Medical Center. And so sweet of you guys to join me here to talk a little bit about Pride Month and talk about your journey as parents here. So first of all, thank you very much. It's good to see you guys today. How is everything going in Woodland Hills?
Great. Thank you so much, Josh, for having us. We're really happy to be here. I mean, it's a pleasure to be able to be on here to speak with you about something that's very important to us, about Pride Month and, being two moms and parenthood. So we're just really excited. And I mean, we actually live out in Woodland Hills. We're actually, working from home right now, and Lourdes is on maternity leave. So it's warm, the valley gets a little warm, but nonetheless, it's nice out here.
Although you're the one who probably can't complain, right? Lourdes gets to complain about the heat because she's just weeks away from winter. So tell me this. First of all, what do you do at Kaiser Permanente? Tell me first, Kathleen.
Yeah, sure. I actually have been with Kaiser Woodland Hills since 2016. I was working over there in the administrative offices. Then I became a supervisor for optometry, Vision Essentials, and I worked on the care transformation buildings there as well. We opened up in Ventura and Porter Ranch, and now just 2 weeks ago, I started my position as an associate consultant for business optimization, workflow consulting at the Walnut Center in Pasadena. So in the region, I think we might be neighbors actually, because I know you're at the regional.
I think we actually are, yeah. Well, tell me what that for everybody else in the world. What does that mean? How do we translate that?
For what I do now?
Yeah, what are you working on?
Yeah, we actually, we focus on more of the regional projects. So the big one that I'm, have the honor of being part of is called BOSH, which is back office staff healthcare Health Connect Essentials. So pretty much we have a curriculum where we help out the back office staff on how to better support the providers, the doctors more efficiently, giving them the tools they need to navigate through Health Connect a lot better, a lot faster, a lot more efficiently. So it's exciting.
Fantastic.
I'm just learning that, so I'm actually really happy I was able to explain that.
Well, welcome to Southern California region. It's good to have you. Lourdes, tell me about what you do.
So I've been with Kaiser Woodland Hills for 5 years as a service representative. But before going on leave, I actually got the opportunity to get the position for population care management coordinator. It's just right before leaving, so I'm excited.
She hasn't started yet.
So obviously, when I go back to a new role, and it's gonna be exciting.
So we'll onboard you once you get back into the action again, right?
Yeah.
So how did you guys meet?
Yeah, so we actually didn't meet at Kaiser. We met at
That's what everybody.
we met at a gym. So before that, we were I was working as a CrossFit coach, CrossFit trainer, and she was she came in was wanting to join the gym. We became friends, and then we got to know each other, and then the rest is history. And then now we're here, pregnant with 2 kids, and we have a son now. So we have growing family. So
How exciting. So was one of you working at KP when you met, or you both weren't working at KP and then met?
We both weren't working. I think you were a volunteer.
Yeah, I was a volunteer. Then became an intern, and then and then I kind of started first, and then just a few months, less than a year, she came on to the Kaiser family.
And have you loved being here? Do you guys love your work?
I do. I do. I love helping patients like day in and day out. So it's been challenging, but it's a very it's a great position to be in to help other people.
Yeah, I mean Kaiser's been it's been a huge part of our family. I've been a Kaiser member even before I became an employee, and just the culture, being able to grow, being able to learn the benefits we have as an individual and as a same-sex couple has truly helped us also along the way.
And I want to talk a little bit about that. Working at Kaiser Permanente as a same-sex couple, how has that been? How has the community been? How has work been? Is there anything that has been different?
No, I think everyone's super accepting of who we are as a couple, as a married couple, and they're they're very they're nice, staff and stuff and coworkers. So they love her. They know obviously they know her all around Kaiser and stuff like that. But it's been good. We've never experienced any like negative anything negative. It's always been positive, and it's been good.
Definitely been an all-inclusive place to be. We've never ever felt, any kind of discrimination, anything like that. We never felt like we've just been equal opportunities all around. When we walk across, the medical center, since we work at the same location, if we're together, we're holding hands, they're like, hey Lou, hey Kat, like just very open, so we can't complain at all. It's been a very great experience this whole time we've been at Kaiser, and we're so grateful for that.
Yeah.
Now, when you go back to work, Lourdes, and you're working for the region, which is in Pasadena, and you're working with, you guys aren't going to be together every day. Is there going to be a little bit of, I missed that? Are you okay? Is it okay to have?
I need my space. I'm kidding. No, it's going to be okay. Obviously, I'm going to miss her, but it's it'll be okay.
Yeah. It'll be nice to come home and put work on the shelf and then just really focus on each other and our kids. So we try to do that as well, which is what Kaiser's about, is work-life balance. So we're really grateful we're able to kind of live that too.
That's great. So you say that you work in an accepting environment, and this has been a really warm and lovely experience. I can imagine as a same-sex couple that you haven't faced that same kind of except not that you haven't, but I'm sure that you've had to deal with that in the world.
Yeah.
Negativity.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, even in your own family, it's
really,
I think, your family is probably the first ones to be the ones to, let's say for the record though, our family is amazing. Our parents are very supportive of us and everything. We're very grateful. Our parents are watching. My parents are watching my son right now as we're doing this interview. But in terms of, when we first came out and stuff, it was always pretty much our family that was, what we were most worried about being accepted is what would our family think? What would our parents think? What would our siblings think? That was the hardest. That's why I feel like not just for us, but for a lot of people, that's why it's so hard to come out, is that they don't know what their family is going to say. They don't know if they're going to get accepted or not. Because there's a lot of stories out there where individuals aren't accepted by their family, and even in worst case scenario, turned away. So, we come from I'm Filipino, she's Hispanic, and so we come from a very Catholic background. So you can imagine coming out, and I've had experiences at churches where I technically wasn't accepted. So yeah, it's hard. It was hard, but as you sign, as we grow and find where we're supposed to be and where we need to be, that's when we find the places that love us just as much. So.
Yeah.
Lourdes, did you have the same kind of issue?
Just I think with my family in the beginning before coming out, it was just hard to talk to even my siblings about who I was and how I felt and stuff like that, especially my mom. So that was a pretty hard, I guess, phase in my life with going through that stage and stuff. So. Yeah, but I mean, moving forward, now, my parents love our son and stuff, and they love obviously us. But it was hard in the beginning.
Tell me about the decision to have kids, because first of all, that's a difficult decision for any couple of any kind, right? But certainly more challenges in society of dealing with what you have to deal with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we decided that we for sure knew that we both wanted to have kids. Yeah, so the minute we decided we're having kids, I went through the process of seeing if I'm okay to. She went through the process of seeing, if she's okay. But yeah, it was also like nerve wracking because like all the stages of,
It's a process. It's a process for sure.
Yeah, like choosing the donor, choosing, the right doctor, does your insurance cover it? Does the donor part was like the hardest part, but also, it was a process. It was like, we had to make sure it was at a certain time in our cycle and this and that. But, I think the first, like Kaiser has shown us that they were able to support us in the process. So that's what was really helpful, knowing that there's actually a reproductive department at Woodland Hills that helps same-sex couples all the time. Since we knew that was available to us, that's where we started, and that was our step one.
How do you feel about other same-sex couples that are in other parts of the United States that may not be quite as accepting, or work for companies that are not as willing and able to be able to give you the same benefits that a heterosexual couple has?
Mm-hmm.
That's hard. I mean, I think just the thought of it just breaks my heart. I think everyone should be equal and have the same opportunity that others have. But it's just hearing stories, like even then, like it's heartbreaking. I wish that people like lesbian couples and had the same opportunity that we have and the same benefits that we have that covers a lot of the process that we went through. So
yeah, we have friends coming, like same-sex couples reaching out to us, asking us how we did it, and a lot of them have to pay out of pocket, spending thousands and thousands of dollars, nowhere close to what we had to spend. And it's challenging for them because it's not just a one shot and you get it, you get pregnant the first time,
Wish it was that easy.
Yeah. But we also know that like heterosexual couples as well have a difficult time. As we walk through the reproductive department, we met, same-sex couples, heterosexual couples coming in every single month doing the same process, trying to get pregnant. And it was challenging for them too. Mm-hmm. We're even doing it for years. And then also I know that it's even more, costly to do it outside of Kaiser, if you're same-sex or a heterosexual couple. So I think it's just a challenge all around to, start a family for certain people.
What advice do you have for other same-sex couples in general for navigating the workplace, number one? Mm-hmm. And then I have another one. But what's the first advice you give for same-sex couples navigating the workplace?
Go ahead. So navigating the workplace, just to be, I think just like any other couple, whether you're, again, same-sex or heterosexual, be professional in the workplace, but also don't be afraid to show that, like, hey, this is my partner, this is my wife, as we're walking through the halls or as we talk about, our partner, just as someone would be like talking about their wife or their husband, how confident they would talk about them. Our advice is to just, to be the same way, is to be comfortable mm-hmm. and talk about your partner as if they were right next to you. So that's really helpful, is to speak about our best friends as if, they were right there.
Even though sometimes we do get confused for twins, and I'm like, how?
Yeah,
that's a little creepy, right? Yeah, at this point, yeah.
They say that when you hang out with people a lot. I think that's a thing. You start to look like them, so people confuse us a lot as sisters.
So when that happens, I'm like the whole day, I'm like, "What's up, sister? How are you?"
Yeah. So and also being, because we actually get a lot of questions like, "Oh, who wears the pants in the relationship?" And we're like, well, we both wear pants, so being able to be okay with, kind of not necessarily calling somebody out, but being, because I think when people say certain things like that, they just are unaware. So to be able to kind of say that, to be open about it and be like, oh, that's not how it works. We're, human beings, we're partners in this, we're parents in this. And even when they ask, like, oh, who's the dad of Luca?
Oh, that's the most question asked, like, especially with me. Like, so how did you guys choose a dad? I'm like, he doesn't have a dad. He has a donor. Like, that's like one of the main things. And I think people are not educated enough to like know or like research or how this goes kind of thing. But like, he doesn't have a dad. Like, stop saying that. Like, it's kind of annoying sometimes. But I'm just like, okay, they obviously they don't understand. So I explain it over and over and over. But it happens. That's like the main question. Like, does he look like the dad? How? It's just.
It's a frustrating thing for her. But again, we just try to acknowledge it, and so that the next time they talk to a same-sex couple, they won't make, it's what sometimes people just don't know what they don't know. So,
well, so I appreciate that. And tell me what are some of those things that are frustrating being in the gay community, being a same-sex couple? What are the things that people say that you're like, why do people have this in this day and age? Why are they at this point?
I think, well, the main one, like I said, is just the whole dad thing instead of donor. What else?
And I know it's also being talked about, like pronouns and stuff like that, or even, we go by she, her, and hers, but we know that even ourselves, like when we, mispronounce somebody, we're caught off guard. We want to make sure that we have to be aware of certain things like that. And also, not assuming that, just because you see me and I'm by myself, that I automatically, and it's just my son, that I automatically have a husband or a boyfriend or things like that. That's a little frustrating. But again, they don't know. So when people, say like, oh, like, where's your dad? Oh, it's just mommy. Where's dad at? We're like, actually, mom, the other mom is working today. So, we just kind of like catch them and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And people usually, you can tell on their face, they're really apologetic. But things like that is I think it's the big thing of assumption, is people, really assuming who you are, like what you kind of gone through, or if for us, I think, if you could just ask a same-sex couple or anybody in the LGBTQ community about their story, or that's the first step to getting to know somebody, so you don't make assumptions.
What advice do you have for a same-sex couple right now that's thinking, I think I want to have kids. I think we want to have kids.
Just do it. Don't be scared. I think a lot of same-sex couples just like are afraid of what others may think or may say, but just go for it. I mean, we obviously have nothing to lose, and if you really want a family, just, you have to start somewhere. Like, a lot of people say like, you need to be ready for this and have that, and like, you're never ready. You're never going to be prepared to have a kid. I mean, it's just go for it. I mean, we're not getting any younger. So our time is ticking, and
just do it and communicate with your partner, and don't stop trying. We weren't successful the first time.
That's challenging.
Yeah, and it's challenging. We cried. There was a lot of tears. There was a lot of arguments, but there's also a lot of hugs and a lot of kisses. Like, you just got to make sure you and your partner are communicating, and you keep going till you get what you want, which is a family.
I love that. And then what about a little bit of advice for just parents out there, as new parents and about to be even newer parents?
I don't know. What's your advice?
For new parents, since we are still fairly new parents, is to be patient, but also to just be present. This day and age, we're always on our phones. We even sometimes have to be like, hey, like, kind of have to catch each other, like, hey, get off your phone. Like, be truly present with your child, because you'll miss it. They grow up so fast, you'll miss it if you take, if you're on your phone answering text messages for work or something, which is something I've had to do a lot, in my previous role. But just to be present when they're in front of you, they're watching you.
Yeah. Like our son, sometimes she's on her phone and he's like staring at her mom. Cat, get off your phone. He's like, oh.
Yeah, and sometimes and sometimes you don't realize it, and your partner kind of has to call you out for it. And I think that's what you have to do is, look out for each other and not argue in front of each other. I think that we've learned that our son feeds off of our energy. He knows when we're arguing. If we're like, have a raised voice, he actually goes, and then we're like, oh, okay, we're just, so we, it really tests our patience,
Yeah.
but it also helps us a lot. So really, truly, just being patient, being present, and just loving each other.
I love that. And it's the beginning of a long line of guilt that you're going to have that your kids are going to continue to throw at you. Tell me this. You are, how far away are we from giving birth to these twins, Lourdes?
I'm 34 weeks, a little less than 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, I was thinking about it this morning, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I'm freaking nervous. I'm excited. We're super excited, but obviously nervous at the same time. Like, just thinking about Luca, like, how is he gonna react when he sees them? Like, is he gonna be okay? Like, I think we're pretty fresh off from Luca right now, like learning like from the basics. Because in the beginning it was like, what are we doing with this human? Like, is the baby okay?
There's no instruction.
Exactly. Yeah. Like they put the baby in the car seat, leave the hospital, and they're like, now what?
Yeah, they pretty much after the 2 days or 3 days recovering in the hospital, it's like, you're great because the nurse is helping you, the doctors are checking in on you, they're helping you breastfeed and everything, and then the minute you come home, it's literally like, oh wow.
I'm like, can we bring the nurse with us for a month or so? No, but yeah, so that's pretty much it.
Yeah, we're nervous, but we're excited for sure. We know that it's going to work out.
Of course it is. You guys are going to be great. First, thank you so much for spending some time with me and talking about your journey and about Pride Month. And just for everybody who's listening, if you're a same-sex parent and a member of the LGBTQ community looking to start a family or just want to learn more about gay and lesbian parenting, the charity pflag.org has some great resources, so you can go to that website. And of course, we celebrate Pride Month here, all of our same-sex couples, all of our LGBTQ community that not only comes for services at Kaiser Permanente, but works with us. And I think you are both also great examples that Kaiser Permanente is more than just someone going to see a doctor. There are a lot of people that make this system run and that give us the ability to provide the excellent medical care that we do. So thank you for the work you do. I appreciate that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Josh, for taking your time to have us here. We're super grateful to be able to talk to you.
Wonderful. And I'll see you around Pasadena, and we'll check in on you, Lourdes, to make sure everything is great once the babies are here.
Thank you.